Good afternoon. My name is Julie Lively. I'm the Executive Director for Louisiana Sea Grant, and it's my pleasure to at least provide this video. I wish I could actually at least be live virtually, but I'm sitting on another site review right now this week. Um, so talking about Texas Sea Grant, why are they such a great collaborator? We collaborate with them quite a bit. I would say probably Texas Sea Grant is the largest collaborator we have across the Sea Grant programs. They're always a trusted and valued partner with the expertise we need to contribute to whatever team or project it is. There are definitely way too many collaborations between our programs, but I will try to highlight a few and kind of touch on the breadth of the topics. Everything from HACCP required for seafood processing, working on crawfish manuals, as that has been, a long legacy of work in Louisiana, but now is spreading into Texas. And they took the opportunity to update a lot of those resources. And they always have someone willing to serve and contribute to planning teams, from a Gulf-wide regional meeting we did a couple years ago to the annual climate, or now known as the resilience community of practice, that I think someone else is speaking on. Um, a lot of our collaborations may not be formalized or even funded. So one topic recently is that came up was offshore wind. So offshore wind suddenly became a very big topic in the Gulf, with the regions of opportunity, both off of Western Louisiana and Eastern Texas. And we found a huge need from the stakeholders. The commercial and recreational fishing industries wanted to know what was going on and have a lot of questions. Unfortunately, neither of our programs have funded capacity for offshore wind, and all of our people are incredibly busy. So we've been able to leverage the capacity we do have to get at least someone at some of these important nationwide meetings, or even regional meetings, so that we can then share what everyone is hearing rather than us all having to try to duplicate effort. Another great opportunity we have is the Gulf States Marine Fisheries Commission Sea Grant Advisory Panel. So this is a formalized advisory panel to the commission, that is made up of all of the Gulf Sea Grant programs. And very recently, Texas was actually taking leadership, serving in the chair and formerly vice chair role. And this is a great opportunity for us to share, concerns, opportunities, lessons learned, resources related to fishing and even aquaculture across the entire Gulf. It's also incredibly important as an opportunity that we can bring up topics that we see and that our agents are seeing at the local community level, actually to the commissioners. And so this is a great way that we can kind of get that information shared and problems that we're seeing across the coast to a larger, higher level. When it comes to funded projects, we definitely have a lot of collaborations with Texas Sea Grant. One a couple of years ago was the Food from the Sea, which was funded by the National Sea Grant Office, which was focused on these projects around the country on kind of a needs assessment for the grain of the fleet. So we worked directly with Texas Sea Grant. They did everything, they served as a true co-PI. They helped plan the in-person meetings we had. They helped lead some of the virtual seminars and things to try to collaborate across the entire Gulf. And they also definitely brought the expertise of knowing what some of their industries like shrimp really needed, if we were to look at new workforce programs. What would those curriculums look like? On some other projects, such as funded by the NOAA Restoration Center, one of the really big ones we have is the Better Bycatch Reduction Device Project. So this project is funded by old BP money to help restore finfish populations. Doing this by trying to develop a better bycatch reduction device, or BIRD. So federal fishermen must have a BIRD installed in their nets to reduce the amount of finfish that they catch. But none of them have been certified in years, and not all of them are being used correctly or at the optimum levels. And so the partnership between Louisiana and Texas, we have that expertise to be able to work directly with the industry. So it's communication with the industry, education and outreach, Texas Sea Grant has the capacity and that trusted relationship with the commercial fishing industry to be able to go dockside, inspect the nets, help educate about if something needs to be corrected. And a big part of this is also testing new gear and new opportunities for the fishing industry. Again, this is not an industry that is really looking to partner with the federal government or is not always trustful of these projects. Texas Sea Grant has the relationship with their industry that the industry is willing to work on the research projects. They're willing to take researchers out on their vessel and test these different devices. Some other projects we have that are collaborations are a Reef Fish Extension project, which is funded by the National Sea Grant Office, which is actually region wide across the South Atlantic and the Gulf, and Return 'em Right. And on these projects, we're really able to collaborate with Texas Sea Grant to leverage resources and capacity. Um, Often, when it comes to reef fish topics, things in the Gulf are kind of divided between the Eastern Gulf and the Western Gulf in terms of stocks, in terms of kind of fishing pressure, the manner of fishing, and our reliance on artificial reef for that structure that people like to fish on compared to the Eastern Gulf. Um, and because a lot of our topics, again, like offshore wind, it crosses state borders. We are able to work together on a lot of our outreach products so that we can create more rather than duplicate an effort, reinventing the wheel. We can create joint products that allow us to create even more with that funding opportunity. We're also leveraging capacity. So we all have limited capacity in our programs. We've had some great opportunities, such as the Louisiana Sportsman Show, that fell right after one of our other really large events, and Louisiana Sea Grant didn't have the capacity to run a full booth. Texas Sea Grant brought people over to actually be able to help and lend a hand. And kind of a completely different shift, looking at kind of more of our research programs. Texas and Louisiana Sea Grant partnered with the NOAA Ocean Acidification Program to do ocean acidification fellowships for graduate students. This was a great opportunity and a great way to increase the amount of support we could provide to grad students. It gave them an opportunity to look at research priorities and add to that knowledge of ocean acidification in the Gulf, because again, the waters don't stop at the state borders, and the students could actually interact across the universities and across the state lines as well, with 3 in Louisiana, 2 in Texas. So I think this was a great opportunity for the students. And also things that had to transition during COVID. These were funded near the end of 2020. A lot of these interactions and sharing had to be done virtually. And I will end with another one that is never funded or even really planned: hurricane response. After the 2020 storms, Hurricanes Laura and Delta really just hit Western Louisiana really hard. Texas Sea Grant was actually closer with resources to the Lake Charles and Cameron region than like over here in Baton Rouge. And so Texas Sea Grant lended time and resources to help our team as well as the commercial industry with opportunities like Feed the Fleet to provide resources to these individuals. Again, after Hurricane Ida hit us in 2021, we had so many metropolitan areas hit here in Louisiana that Texas was able to come in with resources and capacity and support to lend a hand. So we know that Texas is always going to be able to be there as a great collaborator. And thank you very much for your time.